Under the astonished gazes of the crowd, Ye Chuan finished the procedures and walked straight out of the city. He was itching to test the power of his new blade. But he hadn't gone far before realizing someone was tailing him. Not far behind, 3 figures moved stealthily, trying to hide, but they couldn't escape his sharpened senses. After all, his spirit attribute had already reached 50 points, a level even many initiates' realm couldn't match. Pretending not to notice, he kept a calm expression and continued deeper into the wilderness. Those 3 were clearly waiting for him to get far enough from the city gates. Sure enough, the moment he entered a deserted area, a sharp sound split the air behind him. Ye Chuan tilted his head just in time, a thin throwing knife grazing past and slicing off a few strands of his black hair. The 3 stalkers revealed themselves, stepping from their hiding places and slowly approaching. All 3 were level 9 apprentices realm, this brat. He even dodged my sneak attack? Said a curly-haired youth, holding a gleaming knife as he strode forward. It was obviously his strike just now. The fat, short one sneered. Liuxin guessed right. This kid really dared to leave the city. Looks like he planned to abandon his parents and run off alone. Trash. The buzzcut man cracked his neck with audible pops and growled, "Brat, you've been hiding in the city long enough. We've been waiting at the gates for 10 days. Finally caught you." Liuxin's orders were clear: cripple your hands and feet, then drag you back. Ye Chuan calmly reached into his pack, grasped the hilt, and slowly drew his blade. The system quietly notified him, weapon equipped. Butcher's blade activated. Each pig slain with this blade will yield 0.3 free attribute points. He was stunned. Equipping this weapon granted him triple the attribute points compared to his previous knife. A good weapon truly made a difference. He glanced at the 3 men with cool indifference, the corner of his lips curling upward. He had wondered whether Dragon Slayer's first taste of blood would be that of beasts or foreign tribes. Who would have thought it would be human blood? The 3 men froze. The curly-haired one pointed at the knife and asked in disbelief, "What did you just say? You called that blade Dragon Slayer?" Only Ye Chuan knew the true value of the weapon. To them, it looked like nothing more than a butcher's knife. They burst into raucous laughter. "Ha ha ha! You dare call that thing Dragon Slayer? Isn't it just a pig sticker? You're waving around a butcher's knife and calling it a Dragon Slayer. Hilarious! Friend, your mind must be sick. Do you think you're some legendary hero?" Mocked, Ye Chuan also broke into laughter. His laughter immediately drew their full attention. "Ha ha ha! Actually, I'm not a legendary hero," he said. His eyes gleamed coldly. "I'm a butcher." With that, he suddenly activated Nemesis of the swine race. A terrifying aura of slaughter burst forth. The blade in his hand now felt like a demonic weapon, thirsty to be unleashed after drinking endless blood. The curly-haired youth tensed, sensing something was wrong, but the other 2 still laughed at Ye Chuan's so-called butcher's profession. But as the fat one was still laughing, swish, a blinding arc of blade light flashed and vanished in an instant. His laughter cut off abruptly. His eyes bulged as if sensing something, staring blankly at Ye Chuan in disbelief. At his neck, a thin red line, fine as a hair, appeared from nowhere. He trembled, reaching for his neck. It was the last straw. The moment his fingers touched it, blood gushed wildly from his throat. His body collapsed backward, dead on the spot. The system notification chimed. Executioner Ye Chuan has slain a 2-legged pig with a butcher's knife. Level increased by 5%. Damage against the pig clan increased by 1%. Gained 0.3 free attribute points. At this moment, the other 2 were utterly stunned. Their smiles froze in place as they stared blankly at their companion's corpse. Their expressions were both comical and horrified. He's dead? How could this be?" The curly-haired youth muttered, seemingly unwilling to believe his own eyes. They all had similar strength, yet with just a single swing of the butcher's knife, Ye Chuan had finished off the fat one as if slaughtering a pig. They hadn't even seen clearly how he struck. Didn't this mean Ye Chuan could just as easily kill them with one slash? Run! The curly-haired youth instantly turned and bolted. No one dared gamble with their lives. As he fled, he cursed, "Damn it!" Seeing the curly-haired one abandon him, the buzz-cut youth panicked and also wanted to escape. But by then, Yechuan was already upon him. A single slash came down. With a clean, mirror-like cut, his head was neatly severed. The system chimed again. Executioner Yechuan has slain a two-legged pig with a butcher's knife. Level increased by 5%. Damage against the pig clan increased by 1%. Gained 0.3 free attribute points. The curly-haired youth nearly lost his mind in fear and sprinted for his life. He realized Yechuan was a monster. Fortunately, he was quick-witted. When it came to running, no one was faster than him. But before he could get far, a heavy butcher's knife pierced straight through his chest, pinning him against a tree. His body crumpled to the ground. Yechuan walked over and yanked the knife free. He hadn't expected Liuxing to send people to block his path right outside the city gate. Luckily, he had a new blade. Otherwise, facing 3 peak level 9 apprentices at once would have been troublesome. The system updated again. Executioner Yechuan has slain a two-legged pig with a butcher's knife. Level increased by 5%. Damage against the pig clan increased by 1%. Gained 0.3 free attribute points. After killing the 3, Yechuan began rummaging through their belongings. Since all 3 were class changers, they were bound to carry something valuable. Sure enough, hidden inside one's inner shirt was a skill book. Yechuan couldn't contain his delight. He hadn't expected such a good find. Normally, when a class changer advanced to a higher realm, they unlocked a skill unique to their class. Otherwise, there were only 3 ways to learn new skills: self-creation, inheritance from others, or skill books. Skill scrolls condensed the training experience of predecessors, sealed within for later generations to learn. By using one, a person could instantly acquire a new skill without hesitation. Yechuan immediately used the skill scroll and obtained an intermediate movement skill, Nether Shadow Step. When activated, it increased agility by 30% for 30 seconds. Just an intermediate movement skill, huh? Well, free is free. Yechuan smiled. Skills, like professions, were ranked basic, intermediate, advanced, rare, epic, legendary, and divine. For a poor man like him, stumbling upon a free intermediate skill was an enormous stroke of luck. But at that moment, Yechuan sensed something approaching. He leapt onto a tall tree branch to observe. Likely attracted by the thick stench of blood, spirit beasts had begun gathering. Sure enough, before long, several monsters drew near. These strange beasts were called corpse fiends, a low-rank insectoid race of the demon clan, crawling on 4 limbs close to the ground. Their bodies were covered in sharp, exposed spikes. When facing mortal danger, they could shoot all their bone spikes in one burst. One of them crept toward the corpses, sniffed a few times, then warily scanned the surroundings before sinking its fanged jaws into the buzzcut skull, gnawing greedily. Yechuan smirked. Since this creature ate humans, he had an excuse. He couldn't let it live. The crunch of bones echoed as the corpse fiend ate cautiously, unaware of the figure leaping down from above. By the time it noticed Yechuan, it was too late. The beast roared in terror, unleashing a volley of bone spikes in hopes of driving him back. But Yechuan would never give it the chance. He twisted midair, curling his body with his back facing the enemy. The spike struck his back but failed to penetrate. The soft armor he'd purchased earlier blocked the entire attack. Immediately after, Yechuan spun around, butcher's knife slashing cleanly across. A seamless, decisive motion that ended the corpse fiend's life. The system chimed. Executioner Yechuan has slain a special pig with a butcher's knife. Level increased by 5%. Damage against the pig clan increased by 1%. Gained 0.1 free attribute points. Looking at the spike stuck in his body, Yechuan felt like he was undergoing acupuncture.